DJ LeRoy.
NightWatchman. How you doing, buddy? How was
I'm
your week?
well. Week is good. Every time we can make it through the week, it's a good sign.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So last week, we were talking about fashion, talking about style and whatnot. We're going to
Hmm.
continue that conversation on
Hmm.
another level. We're going to be
Right.
bringing out some professionals who, really, really hold it down on a number of different things in terms of the visual, but also
Hmm.
the physical. So,
Hmm.
so you know what? Let's
And
start
we're
to get.
breaking out of the box today, aren't we?
Well, apparently, and I spoke to some of them back in the green room, and they're live and popping. Are,
They're
are
ready.
you
They're ready.
are you ready, Night Watchman?
I'm gonna try to keep up. Okay.
Okay. Well, you know
Yeah.
what? We should bring out that returning guest because we love her. We love her visual art that she does right here in Harlem. Even though she's in my not Wakanda but the BX myself, and that is none other than Miss Aleathia Brown. Aleathia.
Welcome. Greetings, everyone. Thank you for having me for the return.
Absolutely. You must have been on your best behavior last time. That's why you came back, huh?
That's what next level looks like. I'm just saying.
Oh boy, oh boy. So the next person we're going to bring out here is Ramani Edmondson. She is showing up professional in that particular space, and she's going to also tell us about her journey. And how you doing, Ramani?
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for having me here. I'm doing well, and you?
Oh, good, good, good. We are really, really excited here. So, Night
And
Watchman.
Ramani is also known as the Clay Honey.
Oh,
Yes, Clay Honey. I am a ceramic artist. I'm actually presently having a residency at Governor's Island. So I took off today to be present this evening.
see, I'm loving it. I am loving it. Oh, okay, okay. Night Watchman, I'm already overwhelmed. So you know what? I want you to take the next two. What do you say?
No.
See.
I agree to disagree.
This is why I don't like him, but he's on the show anyway. Anyway, so,
So
so
you do the play-by-play. I come in for color commentary. That's how it's working.
that's it. Okay.
Oh,
So at first you were going to actually call him Lloyd, but he corrected you. It's going to be the body mechanic. Bring him on out here, NYC. Lloyd, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man, thank you so much, and good evening to everyone. How's everyone feeling?
We are good. We're good.
Good.
Man, I'm definitely excited. And you know what, Night Watchman, I know you've been doing your own hair. I don't know why you do your own hair, but when you have professionals here, okay? So
Now
instead of,
that's gaslighting because I know you actually do your own hair.
okay.
hair
Yeah,
share.
no, thank you, hair smear. Thank you. All right, let's get it popping, okay? We got the one, the
Right.
only man, Larry Wilson. Bring him on out here, Larry.
He's
Uh,
the hair guru up in this deck.
I think Larry stepped
Oh,
out of the green room for a second.
okay.
So
Then
so
you know what?
when he
What
steps
comes
back.
back, we'll bring him right on. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you know what, Aleathia, you're the one who actually brought these professionals into our sphere here on Soul Lounge Primetime. So I need you to actually explain in terms of why you believe that these particular folks here are the ones. The ones.
Okay. Well, so I always look for people who have a superpower, and the body mechanic happened to be introduced to me by one of the other barehead beauties in our collective some time ago, and did some body mechanic work on me, which
Mm.
put me in a whole different stratosphere by the time I was finished with him. And then we've had some interactions. He's done some other venues with some friends of mine. So I have had firsthand and secondhand experience with his work. So I always figure you don't have to invent the wheel. If somebody is really an expert at what they do, that's the person you want speaking passionately about what it is that they feel, experience, and want to transmit into you. So between him talking about the vortex of water, what to do with your body, and also the sound healing instruments that he is currently using, I wanted there to be a whole experience. And that's why I said wellness is really at the cornerstone of Unveiled Unlocked. We're always looking for different ways to layer communicating healing. And so every one of them have a superpower in something to do with healing. And the same thing like with Ramani, she's an artist, but she also is a healer, yoga, an aquatic expert. She's doing so many things about movement and healing. She's also a Yoruba priestess. So there's nothing better than to have people who are already in their lanes doing all of the layering of things that they do, and they do it passionately well. So for me, it was a no-brainer to have each of them. Larry, who's our barber on deck, has been almost as long as I've been doing Unveiled Unlocked. The barber, I refer men and women because his wife cuts her hair periodically, and I wanted a barber who was friendly to women and men in terms of sitting in their chair. So we just recently did a We Bear It All session at his shop with Ramani cutting her hair off. So we have footage of that. And We Bear is really when a person, male or female, is at that place where they're ready to take that leap to remove their hair. It's just like when you move. You might want to move, but it's still traumatic, that experience. So you need the gentle hands of people coming together with you. So we may lay hands on, give affirmations of power and uplift, and do a whole almost ritual, if you will, without it being something gory. But we really do take the time out with somebody who is going through either a struggle or a journey for a new beginning. So we came to the barbershop and he cut her hair, and we sat and laughed and joked and talked with her and just gave her a positive lift while she did that. So there's layering to Unveiled Unlocked, and honoring our crown, finding new directions is the theme for our 10th anniversary this year. So all the lineup of what we're doing has messages about new directions moving forward, but I'm using the Sankofa to look at the 10 years past and then where we're heading to forward.
Aleathia, can you tell us a little bit about the history of Unveiled Unlocked?
We started on the Harlem Week stage in 2012 in front of the YMCA. I recruited 14 women from 20-something to 60-something, from petite to full-figured, from bus stops and train platforms to lines in stores. And I basically asked, would you celebrate and illuminate your hair freedom on a stage? And they didn't even have an idea fully of what I was talking about. We marched on that stage and the crowd was standing there stuck. And I found out after we got off the stage that there was a chanting going on, "Barehead Beauties, come on back." So what we've been doing, whether you choose to cut your hair by lifestyle or you've lost your hair due to health issues like alopecia, lupus, or cancer, we look at how you embrace being hair free. And having no hair doesn't mean hair less. It just has a freedom to it when you look at it from a new beginning and a different perspective. So when we launched on that stage, we were having the men supporting the women. The next year, we actually began having the men in conjunction with the women, because I started learning there were a lot of men who had hair stories and hair issues and emotional ringing for whatever the reason is. And so we no longer just identify one, men, women, children, all cultures when we do Global Barehead Beauty Day. And that's how this anniversary overlapped. 3 years later, I actually launched Global Barehead Beauty Day on the stage in front of the Harlem State Office building. And it really was a chance for people to, if you want to do a cut, if you want to go to a barbershop or do it at home, we wanted people to feel a freedom of releasing the toxins, because hair has DNA and DNA has memory. So we wanted people to have that opportunity on this one day to just be free on whatever direction you want to go to.
You are on mute.
I was indeed. Man, I'm almost handling that like a damn rookie. What's going on here, man?
It's all right. It's okay.
No, my superpowers have you in a different lane.
So Ramani, I want to know about your superpower. Do tell, my dear.
Well, for me, I'm a newbie to Unveiled Unlocked, but I'm not new to bearing my crown. It was a great experience. Thank you, Larry. And I think I need to bring it down a little more. For me, wearing my hair short, it's a style for me where there are other people who are suffering inside that, we are the models for the global community. So we want to let others know who are in hiding, who feel somewhat about bearing their heads, that you can free yourself. You can free your crown. As a Yoruba priestess, we call the crown our ori. Your head is so important. And when we do the conference in October, I will be taking you through movements to honor your crown. For example, the minute you open your eyes, people don't realize the stress that the eyes go through. Once your eyes are open, they're open until you close them, not unless you take a nap during the day.
Absolutely.
So the eyes get stressed. So I'll be taking you through a few movements to honor your crown as barehead beauties.
Ooh. The body mechanic, NYC, baby. Lloyd, do tell us your superpower. Tell us.
Listen, I've been doing massage work for about 15 years. And what really took my work to the next level was when I started implementing sound and frequency. Basically, I manipulate frequency. When you think about it, the body is 70 to 80% water. And water is one of the most incredible molecules on the planet. Whatever it's exposed to, it can become that. So water takes on whatever external vibrations are going on. And when you use frequencies that are very low and comfortable, it allows your immune system to come back online.
Wow.
And your vision is better. Your sleep is better. Your relationships become better. It's just one powerful wave. I bend sound. That's what I use. And I use indigenous instruments because most of the indigenous instruments are in the frequency zone that are corresponding to the root chakra. In the world that we live in today, most of the time, everything that we hear is overstimulating the brain. So once we are exposed to frequencies that ground us, we actually become a part of everything. So we are all in for an incredible treat.
And NightWatchman, I know you were thinking about, of course, Bruce Lee from back in the day. Okay,
be like water. Be like water.
I knew.
You pour water into the cup, it becomes the cup. Come on, that's our philosopher. You know we.
I got you. So go ahead. What were you about to say?
Why I started using sound because of that clip.
Because Bruce was our philosopher.
That's
growing
right,
up. Let's face it. We might have gone to the movies to see the fighting, but Bruce reeled us in there with some. Oh my God, what was he? What did he say?
Exactly. Well,
don't mistake your finger for the moon. All the glory.
He was dropping some bombs, bro. Let me tell you.
Yes.
And they're still relevant today. So.
Yes.
Exactly. And Larry, you know I got to come to you, man, because needless to say, I understand that your particular area was the place where a lot of the, let's say, the unveiled and unlocked was happening in terms of giving Ramani her taste of what it is to be hairless, to be without the follicles. So tell us about your journey, your superpower, man.
You're on mute as well, Larry.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. I'm back.
All right.
Beautiful.
I didn't even touch that. I don't know how I got muted. I just, hair is very personal. I take it like that. Like a lot of bonds are built through working with hair. I definitely like touching the sisters' hair and heads, but yeah. So every individual, it's a relationship thing for me, and I like to treat everybody, as an individual. Like it's like your head is custom. It's your head, and it's I try to just work and through that type of perspective. That I should say. I just like to work with each individual clients, and because people take their hair very personal, or their heads if they want it all off. So.
Yeah. Yes.
and I try to interact in that manner.
Nice, nice. And you know what? Okay, so group, please do not get on me because one of my guilty pleasures is, of course, watching Real Housewives. Okay, so if I mention all of the wig changes that are available there, like what the hell is going on? I definitely even I will even admit with my in my own journey, my own experience with my wife, right? So she was locked for over 18, 20 years. And she decided to actually then just take the locks out and have her au natural. And, you know, and I love it. Absolutely. But there is a definitely a serious amount of maintenance that goes into that. And so sometimes, as you say, with that particular maintenance, you don't necessarily look at other things. There are other things happening around you that you don't necessarily deal with because you're focusing in on this. Is that necessary, or has Unveiled Unlocked really put that to the test?
So when you talk about maintenance, I think there's no such thing as not some kind of grooming ritual, whether you have hair or no hair. When you don't have hair, you have to continue to maintain cutting it. When you
Mm-hmm.
have hair, you have to
Right.
maintain cleaning it and coifing it. So
Mm,
there's always a grooming that's going on because the body needs adornment. And so
mm,
we can't not take care of ourselves, because what happens is you lose touch and context with what really you're honoring is your body, your vessel. And so there's no shortcut, and that's really why we're supposed to stay active with taking care of ourselves one way or the other. There's always something by design that the creator has us in touch with on levels that we don't even understand. So really this is about embracing wherever you are on the spectrum. And that's why I also say Unveiled Unlocked really is touching on hair to hair free. We have people in our collective who have grown their hair back. We have
mm.
people who've always had hair, because for me, it's not hair less, it's hair free. And I use that word
Mm.
gingerly
Yeah.
because hair free is not identifying your hair as your value, your beauty, and your identity. So you can have a head full of hair and be hair free. You can have
Mm,
no hair at all and be hair free. It's a
mm,
mindset that really
mm,
comes with that, because in embracing yourself, no matter where you are on the spectrum, you have to have that self-love. That inner peace is like the difference between happy and joy. There's an
mm,
inner being that comes with that really is the caveat to all of this. So I said, even if there's such a thing one day as there not being hair bullying
mm,
and emotional fractures around yourself being with no hair because you've lost it to a health issue, we would have something else to unveil and unlock. So I'm
mm.
often talking about unveiling the pain that keeps you from your full purpose so you can unlock and really get into what you are here for. And we are all here with and for a purpose.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Ramani, so bottom line, so you're sitting in the chair there at levels, right? You're watching slowly but surely. You're watching your stuff fall down to the ground. Apprehension. What were you feeling?
Renewness.
Ah,
Mm.
okay.
Renewness. I've worn my hair short for many years, and then I locked my hair, and I had my hair shaved when I became a Yoruba priestess.
Mm.
So during the pandemic, I decided to let my hair grow because I wanted to see what my gray would look like. And honestly, I mean, it was cool, but for
Mm.
me, I'm also a swimmer. I'm a distance swimmer.
Oh, nice,
So
nice.
wearing my hair cut short is convenient for me, and I think I look fabulous with it. I feel great with it.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, you
Yes,
do.
Thank
indeed.
you.
Yes, you do.
So, it was a way, it was for me, it was newness. It was a time, we've been in a pandemic, we're still in a pandemic. And when you cut your hair, you're shedding oldness to let in the newness.
Mhm.
And, for me, I was awarded a residency at Governor's Island.
Mhm.
So I'm shedding my hair to step into my newness.
Beautiful. And tell me, Ramadi, in terms of this residency, is this one of the organizations like Art Crawl or somebody? Tell
Yes,
me.
it's Lower Manhattan Community Council. I'm representing them there. So
Congrats.
yeah, thank
A-
you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So please do tell the body mechanic. Tell us, man, in terms of, let's say you've been doing massage. Besides massage, am I also feeling some yoga in here as well?
Well, I do. I also do movement therapies. Everything pertaining to the biosphere of the body is affected. Touch does similar things that sound does. When you touch your body, there's always an energy exchange between the two people. So what happens is, usually when I get called in, there is something that is energetically out of alignment. So when you do the dance with someone, it becomes a middle point. I'm always working on my own frequency to keep myself grounded. So when I work on people, I'm able to find a medium with them. So I'll give you an example. I spent a lot of time in Harlem on 125th Street. And I've been in the street and met people, and all of a sudden we get into a conversation about body work and pain management and things like that. And I've hugged people and they actually pass out. Because when people are overstimulated and spend a lot of time in their headspace, they are disconnected from the earth and their actual physical body. And because I'm grounded, when I touch them, the drop is so drastic that they actually pass out.
Wow.
So I had to learn to like dial it down and do less of a transmission. But let me tell you something. When I started adding sound to the equation, what happens is sound creates a blanket. It's kind of like a wave. All the instruments that I use work in very low tones, usually between 200 and 4 hertz. And when you're exposed to that, those are similar to frequencies that you experience when you walk barefoot on the earth. So the powerful thing about this is that when the body is grounded, then the body comes into resonance and all of the systems in the body start to work cohesively. And that's why sound and water are so powerful with the human biology.
Wow. Can you give us a little demo? I know you have a couple of your tools close at hand.
Well, you mean his toys. You mean his toys.
Okay, so
those are not toys. Those are instruments.
People can, whoever's listening to this show can tap in. I'm going to give you a little exercise. It'll take a few seconds. So what I want y'all to do is y'all are going to listen to this sound. And while you're doing it, I want you to incorporate a specific breath. The breath is going to be inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. And when you breathe, I want you to slow your breath rate down. I'm going to play the bowl for about 30 seconds and just focus on your breath. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Let me share with you. When the sound is actually being made, the sound creates pressure. You don't feel the sound until it's gone. It is in between the spaces of the wave. So this bowl, singing bowls come in many different frequencies. This bowl is about 200 years old. And it's made from the minerals of the earth, which correspond to the minerals in your body.
Wow.
They create a home base. Singing bowls are thousands of years old. Another instrument that I like to use is one of the oldest instruments. Basically, local Aboriginal people, when they would take boys in their rites of passage when they were 13, they would use these instruments. Basically, it is a piece of wood, a tree, that the termites basically bore out the inside. And what they do is they cut the tree length anywhere from 1.5 to maybe 2 meters long. And they take and blow through the cylinder to duplicate all the sounds of nature.
Okay.
The powerful thing about the didgeridoo, or the natives call it the yadaki, that is the indigenous name. Mainstream is Didgeridoo. They would blow through it and use all parts of their vocal anatomy to duplicate sounds of nature.
Mhm.
Now, this is one of the most difficult instruments to play because when you play, you actually have to breathe and blow at the same time.
Wow.
And learning how to do that heals your biology. I'll give you a little sample.
Okay.
Love it. I love it. I love it.
Listen,
Yes.
I love shaking up the pot.
Yeah.
One thing you can't stop is frequency. You can plug your ears, you can put your head in a box, but your body's going to feel the frequency and eventually end up underneath that mask. I'm telling you right now. That's
See.
one of the most powerful healing tools on the planet. And one thing I want to just share with y'all is this.
Mhm.
A lot of the challenges that people are having with, say, hair loss and stuff, which is affected by being healthier, is the mucus levels in the skull. So I'll give you an example. When I do health protocols with people, when I get them in a fasted state, within 10 days of the fast, mucus starts coming from the skull and going through the eyes. They actually temporarily lose their sight.
Oh my
So a
God.
lot of those challenges have to do with the fact that we have too much mucus in our bodies. And these are some other things we're going to be sharing.
Wow.
So listen, man, we're about to get busy.
So Night Watchman, possibly the cure for your fainting all the time. This could be it. So
You might need an appointment with the body mechanic.
You know that.
Let's go over that. But who doesn't need a doctor's appointment?
I'm about us being the best version of ourselves.
Yes.
No.
He was joking about the fainting. Okay, just so we're clear.
No, that brother's on top of his game. I can feel it.
Yeah. Listen, but let me ask you this, Lloyd. When somebody first comes to you, what is your? I'm sure you have a process that you initially use to kind of evaluate them and see where they are, and you have a lot of tools. Where do you start off with someone?
Well, that's a very interesting statement because when you look at the current health paradigm, what happens is the current health paradigm segments the body.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. If you go to the doctor and you have a foot problem, and then you happen to mention that your shoulder is bothering you, you have to go all the way back through the process. Listen, we have to be efficient in this game. What I do is, no matter who's in front of me, I assess the entire body, and my work heals everything. If you have diabetes, if you have hypertension, if you have sleepless nights, if you have erectile dysfunction, I affect everything. Trust me, the Western model doesn't like this because it's not a money model. But I don't care about money model. I care about people. This is who we are. We take care of each other.
Excellent.
So basically, I incorporate eating regimen. I go into their homes. I assess if it's ergonomically safe, right down to feng shui, energy movement, everything. I even take instruments into home to change the frequency of the home. That's right, spirits do hang out. But when you hit them with a 50-inch gong, and you have 50 pounds of pressure, let me tell you something, it changes sheetrock.
Wow. Well, you know what, Larry, so I certainly do know that your instruments are slightly different. I'm talking about a wall. I'm talking about Oster. So now,
Right.
so tell us about, in terms of, let's say, the cutting. What are the types of things that you're trying to actually feel from your client who's in the chair? What do you want them to feel when you're doing your thing?
Just basically, I want them to feel comfortable, make them feel like they're in good care and enjoy their time. It's like an experience, enjoy your experience with Larry for whatever, half hour. I book up to like an hour.
Wow.
So it's like, just enjoy it. I use different tools. I'm kind of old school, so I always kind of implement scissors. Scissors has like a rhythm to me, like a whistling. So it's I pretty much use scissors on low cut, even if it's a real low cut. Other than maybe like a bald head or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tend to use scissors. Like it's a finisher for me. So, and it has a
Nice.
certain vibe to it.
So have folks sometimes that you've cut, have they asked for, yo, Larry, I need you to do me some serious designs. I need you to put an edge there, an arrow that's pointing forward, something like that. What is the craziest thing you've been asked to do?
Oh man, I'm really good at like abstract stuff. Like I tell people like that. I'm not. Don't really give me no directions. I'm not the barber for that. But I can do abstract designs, just like straight off the top of my head. So I just do wild stuff as I go along.
He's like the hair
So
maestro.
yeah,
Ah,
the hair artist. Yeah,
He's an
I just
artist.
do
Yeah.
it as I go along. Yeah, yeah, it's
Hmm.
an
gotcha.
art form to me. To me, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So Night Watchman, what are you going to do special to your dome?
I just like to keep it short because frankly, I don't like looking at the gray on the top of my head. It gives away
Oh.
much information. So
Mhm.
I have
Uh, uh,
because the rest of it is like black don't crack, but you
I
know
mean, well, hold on, Ramani, you heard that or whatever. There's no shame in gray. No shame in gray.
Actually, I embrace it. I
Mm,
really do because it shows not it shows wisdom.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
young people now, they want to have gray. They're
Hmm.
coloring their hair gray. I have it naturally.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Aleathia, since
Yes.
I've known you, I have never known, let's say, a hair growth of any significance on you. So, has there been a
Oh,
time where you've had long, long hair?
I
Do
had
tell.
locks to my ankles,
What?
okay?
No.
And
wow.
Wow.
and these locks that are in the front were
Uh,
from my original locks. This, when I unravel it, is down to my belly button. So it's not.
wow.
Wow.
I've always had everything in the spectrum. In high school, I was shaving around the sides and let
Mhm.
like a little waterfall come out of the top. There's nothing. I did a cherry curl, I did cornrows, afros. There's nothing I have not done to my head
Wow.
over the time that I've been on this planet Earth. And hair was an accessory for me. So I experimented late at night, and my brother would kind of be a little unnerved at what would come out of my room in the morning going to school. But so what? I'm an artist. And so, you know, I just always looked at it as another texture of art to play with. And the beautiful thing about being of this indigenous culture is that you can sculpt hair or not. And
Right.
it's just you have the freedom to do whatever when you're not attached to it. So I never was. And I had short hair as a child, and I had to learn how to groom even that. So for me, like speaking to what you said, Bob, about the gray, sometimes you just have to embrace whatever it is that you're in, because it's the attitude and it's all the other layers of your being that really come forward. So I've seen some very active, seasoned folks. Instead of calling them seniors, I call them seasoned, because really you've been on this planet long enough to have had some lessons and some blessings. So it's really how you want to finesse it and how you want to really carry the attitude that goes with it. And I've seen some folks, there's a group of men called Silver Fox, and they have the
Right.
beards, and they
Mhm.
do a lot of show up, because they're showing older men grooming themselves but embracing their silver and gray. And it really,
Nice.
I mean, and they are fly as they can be, just by their attitude. They stay in shape, and really they put a positive message by showing up as well. And that's what I'm talking about also with this new direction. I've been embracing the men of Unveiled Unlocked in the past few months too, to really bring a conversation forward where men can be open to have a dialogue, and it helps other men see themselves. So we recently at the Children's Art Carnival did men and conversation. So we're putting little sound bites of that on air so people can see them on camera and not just behind the scene, but illuminated, because when men talk, there's a whole different synergy even with that. So Unveiled Unlocked is why I didn't want it to really just be a feminine energy. It's all energies. And just like what Lloyd was talking about, what's really powerful is how the sound bites reverberate. And when you say certain things or you show up in a certain way unapologetically, you never know who's in a silence on the other side of that lens, and they needed to hear that thing, or just seeing you is another healing component, because in this capitalistic society, certain things don't show up, like real people and how we really look. And so, it's the dress up that really has us, drinking the cherry juice, thinking that that's what's real.
No,
So,
no doubt.
Hey, listen, our scalp is a perpetual canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
True.
okay, yes, indeed. So, Night Watchman. Now you've heard all the stuff there. So, I have successfully on this show talked you out of the Jerry curl, correct?
Oh, you got jokes
he was getting
today.
real
What?
crazy with that
Oh,
one.
He totally
okay.
does.
All right. So my brother is getting back for all the shows that I picked on him. You came out firing today. I salute you. So
Thank you. Well, I got to find out from Larry. Back in the day when
Yes,
that
sir.
stuff was popular in terms of the Jerry curl, do you have many of those that you had to tackle?
Man, I ain't never did a Jerry curl in my life. S
Oh,
curl, curls, yeah, S curl, little texturizers. Yeah, we used to do that. Little Teddy Riley and all that was hitting back in the days. So they had the little curl on the top. They used to do a lot of that. I never did a Jerry curl. Jerry curl is rods and all types of stuff. Nah, I'm not down with the Jerry curl.
I hear.
that I
you
got my
remind me of
boundaries. I don't
Right,
cross
right.
certain lines.
it's
You
like
gotta
Nah,
charge a
what was that
premium for that.
Soul Glow from
yeah,
Coming to
yeah.
America?
Nah, all the juice, yeah, all the juice flowing and all. Nah, that's too much.
Oh my God! Yes, yes, indeed. Well. Now, I have to know, Alethea, in terms of the event that's supposed to be popping in October. Give
Yes.
me, give me the overview of that.
So,
Sure.
Unveiled Unlocked, honoring our crown, finding new directions, is a continuum. So, for October 7th through the 10th, it's a federal holiday weekend. We're going to do a 4-day virtual conference. And so, day one is Beauty is Deeper Than Skin.
Hmm.
We have Brenda Brunson Bay, who is an iconic designer in the community, adorning women's body for 5 decades. So she's going to be also dressing us for the stage at Harlem Week on August 21st. But for
Nice.
that, I'm going to have a conversation with her. We also, with Unveiled Unlocked, talk about historically relevant things too. So she's talking about the power and positivity of adorning the body with elegance. And she talks about the journey of what she does using color and texture in her fabrics, as well as how she lays that on the woman's body for her feminine rise. So we are on day two going to do We Bear It All, and that's where we're going to have Larry come on. But we also have a wig Easter. Noreen Chambers of the Nuna collection makes natural hair wigs, so the black
Mm.
woman doesn't have to divorce her culture. Because if you notice, a lot of people are stuck on the straight hair as if that's the only way to wear a wig. So she makes colorful wigs and textured wigs and all kinds of wigs custom made that also can fit on a woman who has a head full of locks or no hair at all. And because she has her own crochet technique, they're breathable. So we'll have Larry and her on for that day. Day three, Lloyd and I are going to be on color filled conversations, because I'm going to start with pages from my coloring book, doing a coloring session for stress melting. I have pages that have illustrations about barehead men and women. So we'll start off the session with that and then migrate to a conversation. And I just got recently named from Lloyd as the colorologist. So we get to share the conversation about hair and water and color and all of those things on day four. The final day, I'm also going to be raffling one of my paintings during that last day, but it's called Journaling Hour journey. Hair stories, everyone has one because men and women have hair stories, whether they're funny ones or they're traumatic ones, but we're going to be sharing that. So Ramani and Lloyd are going to be doing a collaboration with the sound instruments and honoring the crown and doing sessions in between. So there's a lot of layers of interactive. Each of the days we'll have a journal, and I'm sending a package to everybody who participates in the 4-day conference so that they will all be on deck with all the same instruments to share in on the interaction. So there will be activities for each of the days that we are doing this. So I want to just make mention that Lloyd and Ramani are also going to be on stage for Harlem Week. And so Ramani is going to be sign interpreting one of my poems, Hair Follicles. And then we have one of the members in the group who's going to be doing a dance movement, just interpreting the poem. And then Lloyd will have his instruments and he will be playing them in tandem with what we're doing. So it's layered on that August 21st. The first day we're doing a great day of Harlem, and then Lloyd, Catherine, Mama D, and myself poetically are telling a story of how Unveiled started. So there's a succession of things that we're doing, including, and I do want to make mention, we're doing a dinner for our anniversary at Cecil's, and that's going to be also a showcase where the performing artists are going to be doing their thing, from music to vocal to poetry to the hats and wigs, and then we'll dine and experience the whole how this journey has gone from past to where we're going in the future. So this 10th anniversary is going to be layered from August to October.
There I am. Night Watchman, what you got over there?
What I have,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of some comebacks for you. I didn't know I was supposed to come prepared. Come prepared. I left all mine in the green room before we started, and it was like, how? No, what I got though is, let's talk about what the real common denominator is amongst everybody on here, and that's not hair or not hair. It's really about art and expression, and just that journey. Whether it be with hair, without hair, how we express ourselves, and even connecting to sound and vibration, because Curtis and I, our art form is the art of conversation, and when we do music shows, it's the art of music, and having that dialogue between our guests and between our listeners, and it's all about vibration. And so that's why we connected so well with Lloyd, the body mechanic, because everything he's talking about, we're in that. And so we understand that vibration changes everything. Even you think about the vibration of getting this particular show to people who listen to it. It gets converted into vibrations that get sent in different ways. Some of it is Wi-Fi, some of it is going through fiber optics, but it's all about vibration. And so, and hair is the same thing. Hair is like an antenna. It connects us, and absolutely. So it's really great for us to be able to have a kind of a free range conversation about it. Aleathia always brings it in, she's everything everywhere all at once. And we love that, because it also shows us the breadth and depth of the diaspora. One of the reasons why hair is always such an important topic with Black people and Black women in particular is because of that expression. The amount of different ways that Black women express themselves with hair or without hair it's almost infinite, and it all connects to that ability and that desire that we all have to find ways to express who we really are. And so I think that that's what Unveiled Unlocked has been celebrating, and that's why we celebrate them.
Professor Poncé,
Wow.
I had no idea
Well
that
said.
you were this deep. So I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
That was
yeah.
awesome, man.
yeah,
That
He
was
just
I,
right off the
unveiled
whip.
and unlocked.
that's
yeah,
right. Yeah, yeah. Well, I had to go to the high road because I was getting my butt kicked on the low road. So.
Go high every time. Go high every time.
Hey, brother, it's not a competition. It's a movement, and we're all moving together, King.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, Ramani, do tell me in terms of uh, your clay sculpting. Tell me about it. Are you impressionist, abstract? Tell me about it.
No, I'm not impressionist or abstract. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say abstract in some ways. I'm a weaver and I weave
Ah.
clay. But
Mm-hmm.
what I'm working on at Governor's Island, since I wasn't having access to a kiln,
Mm-hmm.
I I make face masks, and I
Mm.
started last year. I gave birth to a new body of work, and from the scraps of my face mask, I started building a body of work of motifs from the scraps. So that's what I'm working on, and it's coming along quite nicely. We're having an open house in August, and I invite all of you to come through.
Okay, we're there. Night Watchman, you there?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you know what I want to hear, Larry. Please
Yes,
tell
sir.
me, because we certainly know that levels is you guys are have a number of locations,
Yes, we
correct?
do. Yes, we do.
Okay,
Hmm.
and each of these stylists that might be at levels may have their own special technique. What how would you describe your technique?
More old school. You know, I'm one of the older generations of barbers. So it's a new breed now. It's a new breed of barbers. I'm on my way out, but I've been doing it like close to 30 years.
Oh
So
wow.
the newer guys, yeah, the newer guys, they're doing stuff like they're penciling your hairline before you do it. They're doing a lot of leaving it on there. Like we used to do the ash with the clipper. Now they actually put a white pencil around the hairline to enhance it or bring it out, and guys are actually walking out like that. So yeah, it's a new generation of barbers out here.
Needless to say now, well, two things. A, that sounds frightening, Larry. You know that. That definitely sounds a little frightening. But second, is still the barber place, the gathering place where you guys can talk politics, talk commerce, talk everything.
Yes, all that still goes down. Politics, sports, of course,
Yep.
and you know we try to stay away from religion, but that gets thrown in there, and anything goes for the most part. Yeah, it's still a place for that, a gatherings place, and still one of the primary institutions in the black community, I would say.
Gotcha. I do know that. Let's say a barbershop like Denny Mo's, for instance, also gets involved in some of the I guess activities in the community. Would you say that true also of levels in terms of some of the
Yes, yes,
involvements?
yes.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Denny Moore is a Levels alumnus. He worked with in my shop for over 10 years before
What?
he opened Denny Moore's. Yeah, Denny
I
Moore's my boy. Yeah,
I
he's a Levels alumnus. He worked at Levels.
uh,
Yeah.
nice.
And you know what I'll
That's
say
my
to
boy.
that? The connection is when we launched Global Bare Hair Beauty Day in
Hmm.
2016 on the State Office Building Plaza.
Hmm.
I had Larry and Denny Mose do the barber
Wow,
cuts for the day to the
beautiful.
community. So they were shaving heads all day out there, men, women, and so in one of the videos that I sent you, there's a sister with the bare head, and you see the blurred backdrop of the mural that's on the wall by H&M. She was one of the ones who did a wobia. She was shaving her head, and she had her family come to reveal that she had cancer and she hadn't told them. So her
Wow.
shaving
Oh,
her
I
head
remember
was
that.
very right,
Right.
exactly. So all, the reunion, the overlaying of community, Unveiled Unlocked has really been at the cornerstone of so many relationships that have already been going on for some time, and putting them together in front of the public eye, because they're friends, and then we're all now connected. So we go as much to Denny Mose as we do to Levels. When I send people to either one of them, we have conversations all the time about, like Larry just said, the barbershop is the community. That's the mecca of the Black community. So I've even done an art exhibit in Denny Mose for Black History Month. So there's so many things that happen that we never really talk about on the microphone, but we do know it all happens in that shop for
Yeah.
both men and women.
Nice, nice.
Absolutely.
And I guess with the changing, as we know, the changing demographic of the community of Harlem, have you noticed, with, let's say, the influx of newbies coming into the community, have you noticed that their how should I say, that their spirit, their vibration is different or similar? Lloyd, tell me.
Wow, that's very interesting. Um, I would say yes.
Mm,
I would say yes. But when everyone is exposed to a bass note, we all come into one aligned force. It doesn't really matter what your expression is, because frequency is going to bring us all to the same
Right,
place.
right.
So,
mm-hmm.
listen, man, we honor everyone. That's what it's
Gotcha.
about. Absolutely. Where people were segregated and left out. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
we are one solid community. We are one big bowl of soup. And as long as we stay together, that soup's going to be really delicious.
Absolutely, absolutely. Uh,
Gumbo.
Gumbo, showing up, just
I'm
yeah.
telling you,
Papaya.
Harlem gumbo.
Paella.
I'm starting to get hungry.
Papaya.
Who's
Papaya.
treating?
Night Watchman, you're treating.
Absolutely. So, Aleathia, I wanted to get your take on. Obviously, there was a lot of recent conversation because of the whole Jada Smith, Will Smith, Chris Rock thing that brought up the issue of alopecia. And I wondered if you had any thoughts or insights on that and how it relates to expression of hair or not hair.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I had actually done a show with another host talking about that the next day, because one of the things, I've followed Jada online for some time now with her Red Table Talk, listening to the conversations and moving it forward. So one of the things that I actually said was my takeaway after that happened is it really would need some time, but I would hope and wish that Chris Rock and
Will Smith.
Will
Smith.
Smith would
Uh-huh.
come on a red table and have a
Yeah.
conversation on camera to diffuse that whole black on black kind of situation.
Yes.
But also to bring forward the idea of how we can shift and resolve our energy and the hostilities that we have, because really the world looks at us in one lens and not in a wide angle either. So it really would really be helpful to all of us to see them come together in that kind of a conversation. I've seen her since do a couple of other shows where she was talking about alopecia, and there was a little girl who committed suicide because she was bullied in school. And one of the things that actually resonated for me was something happened when we were doing one of the African American Day parades. We were marching, and this little girl with a hijab came running up to me. She was 3 and her sister was maybe like 7 or 8. And she grabbed me by my leg because she was only, a little above my knee. And she said, underneath this hijab, I'm a barehead beauty like you. And she followed us in
Wow.
that parade. She left her family, in fact, to come up to us. And she said, I want to join your group because maybe if my family can see that I'm okay with having no hair, they will embrace it too, because they cry and pray every night that I grow my hair. And so minutes later, it was a group of Muslim women and men coming from both directions. We were standing in front of the Schomburg,
Mm-hmm.
and they just embraced us wholeheartedly because
Wow.
they saw how she was drawn to us. So in speaking to that whole Jada thing, having a platform on the television, on the web, gives you a power with that mic that really can do some healing if you use the vibrational energy in the most effective way. And she's done some powerful things. So really turning the mirror back on themselves and looking at where that went downhill so that you can kind of reset those buttons really would be the thing I would hope, pray, and wish that would happen on the next part of that journey, instead of ripping apart whether she did something or egged something on or he did something that he could have done differently. We can't take the moment back, but we can move forward on how we can do things a little bit differently in a healing way. Once something happens, now what next is really what I want to hear and see.
Absolutely. And Night Watchman, so you hear that? That's definitely some smart stuff. So listen to that and keep my wife's name out your mouth, okay?
Yo, listen.
Oh, you're just trying to start something today. I'm not biting, but I would caution you not to take a swing at me.
This has been an incredible show. So you know what? I need to have some final comments from everyone because I need to know. So please, you know what, Ramani, give us some closing thoughts.
I think this was phenomenal. I think you should invite us back again.
I will, especially after your residency at Governor's Island. Okay.
Oh yes, do indeed.
All right, beautiful. So if someone wants to get in touch with you, how can they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me on my Instagram, Ramani, RAMANI EDMONDSON, and they can contact me through my email, clayhoney@hotmail.
Excellent. Lloyd,
Yes.
tell us, how did they get in touch with you? Some final thoughts.
You can get a hold on me through Instagram, Body Mechanic NYC, or my email, bodymechanic.nyc@gmail.com, or you can just call me 347. I'm sorry, 917-353-4137. I always got the hotline rolling. You never know when people need some frequency shifting. And my final note is this.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Thank you, Lloyd.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You got it. Larry, tell us.
I'll put the frequency of my brothers and sisters on this platform.
Nice.
And the vibes. But Levels, 425 West 125th Street. My IG is L.Bop. And I'm there every day. Cell phone 917-807-7807. Appointments only.
And before you retire, I know, Larry, you can do a design for Night Watchman, correct?
Yes, I can.
All right.
I got you.
Thank you, my brother.
And Curtis, you're still going to continue to do your own hair, I see.
I'll not answer that. Aleathia, take us home, my dear.
Yes, so I want to welcome everybody to celebrate and join us. One of the things that I've also said about the dinner that we're doing at Cecil's, because it's a whole entire showcase that we're going to be doing there. If you can't attend that dinner, you can sponsor your ticket so we can gift it to someone who's in a silent war losing their hair, alopecia, lupus, or cancer. We'll contact those organizations and gift a ticket to someone who's in that silent war for a night of fun and fancy. So we really want to implore that people really take note of the work that we're doing. We're not just about fashion on a runway. because we have a cause and we have a purpose. And so I want to really put that forward, that we want your support so that we can continue doing the work that we're doing. We're working on our website right now, so that will probably launch during the 4-day virtual conference. We want also people to know, with the virtual conference, that's a global thing. Again, that's pushing it forward so people can see us for that. So if you go to Unveiled Unlocked, you can find us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Any of those handles, Unveiled Unlocked, and Unveiled Unlocked at gmail.com. When we launch the website, it'll be unveiledunlocked.com. I've actually been paying for that for about 6 years, so it's already there. It's just now we'll need to push it forward. But the support of people in our community, and we have a lot of things that we're going to be doing with the men of Unveiled Unlocked. We've done a couple of talks that we're going to put spotlights on, and for that day we're going to celebrate and illuminate the men, because I think really we coexist, but we act like we don't by having these segregated groups, all men, all women. We live in the world together. We need to learn how to communicate together. So when we do our performances on stage, you'll see that we have that synergy, because it's going to be all those layers coming together. So check us out for both Great Day in Harlem at Grant's Tomb on August 14th and Harlem Day, which is the place we launched Unveiled Unlocked on 135th. And we've literally been on every stage. So Hair to Hair Free is so that, and I want to really just say this because I'm putting it in the universe. The Crown Act was now signed in New York State. So I want to insert the language to the Crown Act that the hair free community needs to be added into that. I'm working on getting us a proclamation for Global Barehead Beauty Day, which happens to fall deliberately on Marcus Garvey's birthday. So there's layering of education that I'm giving everybody about us coming together as Black folks, and our freedom is being able to be a united front.
Excellent.
Right.
Thank you. Night Watchman.
Well, first of all,
that's right. I'm giving you the final round. Yes.
All right. That's for our guests. Thank you guys for a great show. You've been listening to Soul Lounge Primetime on WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. Also live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. You can always find us on Monday night, 7 p.m. on the radio, 8 p.m. all across the globe. So thank you for joining us. And
thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Peace.
And you guys will be back.
Most definitely.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
No doubt. Anytime. Thank you.
Take care, y'all.
All right. Peace.
All right.